What if I told you you can create motion graphics like the top YouTubers, like this, like this, like this, like this, and maybe like this, without After Effects, without a designer, and in under 3 minutes. Sounds like another overhyped AI tool, right? That's exactly what I thought until I tested this. The animations that you watched are all created with MotionVid. Let's be honest, motion graphics are what separates average videos from high quality content. But creating them, it takes hours, it requires skills, and good creators charge a lot. But MotionVid claims to generate professional motion graphics with text prompts. So, in this video, I am going to show you how to create professional graphics using 3 simple workflows inside of MotionVid. And I am going to test it properly, show you the real results, where it works and where it fails, and finally, whether it's actually worth buying or is it just another AI gimmick. And trust me, some of the results genuinely surprised me. And at the time of recording this video, MotionVid has a lifetime deal on AppSumo. And if you want to check it out, the link is in the description and also in the pinned comments. Later in this video, I'll also walk you through which tier actually makes the most sense. Moving on, what are motion graphics? So motion graphics are visual elements that help you in conveying your message in a much better way to your audiences. And using motion graphics will actually help you in competing with bigger players in your industry and also increase the watch time and viewer retention on your videos, which will help your videos in performing well on whatever social media platform they are published on. Now that we know what motion graphics are, then what is MotionVid? So MotionVid is an AI platform that helps you in creating and editing high level motion graphics and animations with AI in just minutes. Now, it helps in bringing your ideas to life without the steep learning curve like traditional animation softwares. It also provides natural language interface like this. You could see this is the interface that it provides to create unique graphics. It also provides a large collection of templates that you can customize according to your style. It could be colors, fonts, layouts, and much more. These are some of the examples of the templates that could be used in creating motion graphics. And MotionVid can be considered as an alternative to Higgsfield or Hera AI for motion graphics. With that being said, let's move on to the features of MotionVid. Now, for the demonstration purpose, I have borrowed few prompts from a fellow YouTuber, Zane Hoyer. He creates videos on DaVinci Resolve, and I have used the same prompts that he has used in creating motion graphics using a tool called Higgsfield. So now, why did I do that? I wanted to compare how the output of MotionVid is going to be when compared to Higgsfield. Moving on, we'll be going through 3 workflows. So the first workflow here is how can you create motion graphics only with the help of text prompts. Let me go ahead and read the prompt for you. Generate an animation of 3 circular widgets popping up in a row. Each circular widget has a number. The first one is number 1, the second one is number 2, and the third one is number 3. I want this to have a blue gradient background, and I want the circular widgets to have blue gradient as well. I want this to look premium, keep everything smooth and clean. So this is the exact prompt I have given inside of MotionVid. Copied the same exact prompt. Once you navigate to motion graphics, this is the chart interface that you would be seeing. So all you have to do is go ahead and paste the prompt that you have copied, and you're going to select the option of auto, and you're going to click on auto generate. So now this is going to be consuming 29 credits. You could clearly see you have the option to change the length of the video that you want to create. If the length of the video is longer, the number of credits that you're going to be spending is going to be increasing. You could also add an audio for this. I'm not going to add audio. This is not going to change any credits when you add audio here, and you have the option to change the model that you wanted to use here. So you'll go ahead and auto generate the video clip here, and this is the exact output I got here. So you could see that we have 3 widgets popping up in a row, number 1, number 2, and number 3, and the entire animation is smooth with a blue gradient in the background as well as a blue gradient for the widgets as well. Now, following the same pattern, I have taken another prompt, copied it from here, and went on to motion graphics and pasted the prompt here, and the settings is in auto, and I'm changing the time to 5 seconds and going to auto generate this, and this is the exact output I got. So that is how you are going to create motion graphics with the help of text prompts. Now, we are also going to be creating an infographic with the help of text prompts. So for this, I'm going ahead onto MotionVid and navigating to infographics in the menu item that you see here instead of motion graphics. Now, what is the difference between motion graphics and infographics? When you create a motion graphics, in order to download the video, you don't have to spend the credits in your account for render. But if you are using an infographic, the credits in your renders are going to be spent when you download the infographic here. Okay, so let's go into infographic. For this case, I am going to consider this particular prompt here. Gather information on YouTube analytics and animate the analytics in 3 separate sections on 3 different graphs. The title YouTube should be at the top. Use the company's brand colors. You are on infographics here, so you would be getting this chat panel here. You could go ahead and paste the exact prompt, and now you have the option to select the canvas size. It can be YouTube 16:9, or it could be 9:16, or it could be a 1:1 square canvas, whichever aspect ratio you want. You could go ahead and select that, and you have the option to select the length of the animation that you want. It could be 5, 10, 15 or 60 seconds. So in this case, I'm going to be selecting a let's say I'll be selecting a 10 seconds animation, and you could also select the model which you wanted to use in order to create this animation, and you also have an option to enhance this prompt. Let's say the prompt that you have given here is not so accurate, so you could go ahead and click on this enhance the prompt, and the prompt will automatically get enhanced, and you could see the prompt has got improved, and then you could go ahead and create a new video animation here. So here you go, this is the exact video that was created. So once an infographic is created, this is going to be live editing. You could literally go ahead and change the aspect ratio here into 1:1, 9:16 or 16:9. You could go ahead and change the duration of the video, and you could also change all the colors that are appearing in the animation. Let's say instead of taking red, I wanted to go ahead and change the color to blue. So you could see the animation colors are automatically changed here. You could also make changes to the text here. It says YouTube dashboard here. Instead of that, let's say YouTube login. Okay, so you could see the text also gets changed here. You could go ahead and change every aspect of this particular video here once it is created. And once you are satisfied with the output that you got, you could go ahead and download the infographic that is created. Now you have the option to choose the quality of the video. It could be 720, 1080 or a 4K video, and you could also select the frame rate. It could be 30 frames or it could be 60 frames, and you could go ahead and increase or decrease the length of the video, and then you could start rendering. Now this rendering is available only in infographics, but for motion graphics your credits are not going to be consumed. You could straight away go ahead and download the motion graphic videos. So that is the first workflow. We have taken the help of text prompts and we have created motion graphics as well as infographics with the help of just text prompts. Now moving on to the next workflow, which is with the help of reference images. So in this workflow, we are going to be giving some reference images to MotionVid and ask it to create similar images for us. In order to do that, you need some inspiration or reference images. You could get those reference images from either from Pinterest. For example, you could go on to Pinterest here and search for black and white graphics, and you would get a lot of black and white graphics here. You could take a screenshot of any of these images and give it as a reference image instead of MotionVid, or you could go ahead and choose any of your favorite YouTube creators and take a screenshot of an animation that you like from their videos, or you could go on to motion graphic libraries and get references from there. So for the sake of this demonstration, I am going to be taking one of my favorite YouTubers. Recently I've been watching videos of Callaway, and I did like this particular motion graphic in this video. Let me play here. So this is going to be the first screen, and
what your fourth video is going to be about. And because of this, it doesn't know which of your previous 3.
So this is the exact animation I wanted to create. So this is the first frame I've taken a screenshot of, and this is the last frame I have taken a screenshot of. In this case, you are going to be giving a first frame and also a last frame. So these are the 2 frames that I've taken. I've gone on to the platform and I've given both the images as the first frame and the last frame, and I've given the prompt here. Now I've asked it to create an animation using the images provided. First image is the first frame and the second image is the last frame. I want the elements in the first image to slowly slide up to create space for the new elements to be added below them in the second row. I want the elements in the second row to slowly slide in from the bottom and align to corresponding row 1 elements. This is the exact output I got here. So you could take reference from any of your favorite YouTube creators, take screenshots, give that as a first screen and give that as a last screen, and go ahead and generate a video, and you can create motion graphics here. Okay. Now the other method of doing it is, instead of giving both first screen and the last screen, you could go ahead and only give the last screen and ask the AI to automatically generate. For this example, I've taken a reference from Danny Weiss channel. This is the exact animation I wanted to create. So I went ahead, I've taken a screenshot of this image, and if you want to give the frames, one thing that you have to remember here is you have to remove the auto option. Once you remove the auto option, you will be getting the option to add the first frame and the last frame of the video. So in this case, I'll just click on upload and I'll select the last frame here, and I'm going to simply say create an animation using the image uploaded as the last frame. So this is the output I got here. But if you observe carefully, the text on the image has changed. Instead of saying focus on one idea in your title, it just said end. In the first try itself, I was unable to get the exact output I wanted. So I had to go ahead and select the second frame. You could always go ahead, select the frame, and you can say change the text to whatever you want it, and then edit the image. So that is how you're going to do it. We have taken reference images, we have given it to MotionVid, and we were able to create motion graphics. Now moving on, instead of giving any reference images, you are going to take prompts from ChatGPT and going to be giving that prompt into MotionVid. I'm going to be showing you a simple technique here. If you have a reference image and want to create exactly the same image, you don't know how to write the prompt, all you're going to do is head over to ChatGPT, give the image that you have, and simply ask, what do you see in this image? And it is going to tell you what it sees inside of the image. Now, this is the exact prompt I've given next. So I went ahead and I said, I want to recreate the same image and animate it using a text to animation AI tool called MotionVid. Give me a prompt that I can give it and create an animation similar to the above image, and give it in the normal prompt format instead of JSON. But make sure you cover everything that is generally included in a JSON prompt, including colors, fonts, background, gradients, lighting, and more. ChatGPT has gone and given me the entire prompt. There is a catch here. The prompt is too long, and inside of MotionVid, you could only go ahead and give 2000 characters. So I went ahead and I asked ChatGPT, turn it into a 2000 character prompt, and finally this is the prompt that ChatGPT has given. I went ahead, I've given the exact prompt inside of MotionVid, and this is the output that I've got. So we have taken a reference image, given it to ChatGPT, and asked ChatGPT to create a prompt for us, and we have taken the prompt inside of MotionVid, and we have created a motion graphic here, which you could go ahead and simply download straight away from here. Now that ends our second workflow. We have taken reference images and given it to MotionVid as well as to ChatGPT in order to create motion graphics here. Now let's move on to the third workflow, which is using templates. Now if you navigate to MotionVid, on the top right hand side you have assets, and within assets you have templates. When you click on templates, you have a huge range of templates that are going to be appearing here. So in this example, you could go ahead and select different styles of maps that you could create. So let me play through one of these videos. So you could see these are all the different sets of templates that we have here. A flight moving over from across one country to the other country, or zooming in onto a specific country on the globe, or drawing a line over the map. You could also create different sets of infographics here. You also have different graphs. These are different sets of graph templates that you have inside. You could go ahead and select any of these templates. Once you open the project here, you can see this is the video right here. You can simply say slowly zoom in and highlight to the country India. So that is the third method how you can go ahead and simply customize all the templates that are available here. So you also have some social media templates. You could select any of this. You could go ahead and give an image, and instead of giving a reference image, you are going to give images that you want to import inside of the design. You could go ahead and give your headshot here, then go ahead and create the animation. Your image will be coming here. So that is the third workflow. So we have seen a total of 3 workflows. The first workflow is going ahead and giving text prompts and creating motion graphics. The second workflow is giving reference images and creating motion graphics. And the third workflow is by using the templates that are already present on MotionVid. So those are the three ways how you can create motion graphics with the help of MotionVid. And moving on to the pros, the quality of the graphics that are being created is exceptional. They are very smooth. In fact, one particular thing that I liked here is there is not much of a learning curve. You could literally spend 10 to 15 minutes and you could create motion graphics, and they are created very fast in just like 4 minutes max, and it saves hours of time. You also have professional templates, and the UI and UX of the platform is very clean and user friendly. So those are all the pros that we have for MotionVid here. Okay, and right now MotionVid has a lifetime deal that is running on AppSumo, for which I've given a link to it in the description and also in the pinned comments as well. But speaking of which tire to choose from, if you observe here, so they do have 3 tires right now as a lifetime deal, and the basic difference here is going to be the number of credits that you will be getting. Okay, I have a license tier 2 in which I got 225 credits, but unfortunately all the 225 credits have been spent. Now, one thing I want you to note here is each generation is going to be taking somewhere around 25 credits to 46 credits based on the changes that you're making. So let us say we will average it to 30 credits for every animation creation. So if I open the calculator and let's say I got 225 credits in the package I got, divided by, let's say it spends 30 credits in order to create one animation. So that is like 7 animations. So you could basically go ahead and only create maybe 7 to 8 animations instead of license tier 2. But if you go ahead and take license tier 3, you could maybe create somewhere around 10 to 12 animations. But speaking of which, I think those are very less. If you are a heavy user who, I think even 500 credits will not be enough. And if you are having a package with maybe 2000 or 5000 credits, that would be much better. I hope MotionVid comes up with maybe a tier 4 or tier 6 maybe. If you ask me which tier to go with, I would say you can go with tier 3 because you are getting the highest credits, at least on the lifetime deal that is available right now. And maybe you could create somewhere around 15 to 20 motion graphics with this tier. But hopefully, let us see if a tier 4 or maybe a tier 6 comes along the way. Moving on to cons, you don't get the perfect output every time. You have to go ahead and make some tweaks here, and it takes multiple generations. And because we are limited on the number of credits we have, if there are multiple tweaks that you are going to give, your credits are going to be spent very quickly. And when I tried editing an image, there was some bug that came up and all of my credits are consumed all of a sudden. But I hope this issue get resolved, and also a tier 4 or a tier 6 with 2000 to 5000 credits also launches for heavy users. So with that being said, I thought of actually showing you more use cases where you could go ahead and use it for e-commerce, infographics, UI elements. But unfortunately, because my credits are all consumed, I can't show you more of those things here. Okay, let's straight away jump on to the final verdict here. So there are 2 cases here in the final verdict. Now, case 1, if you are a professional motion designer and you want frame level control instead of your animation for every element, so you can invest your time and money in a software tool like After Effects. But if you are a creator creating YouTube videos or creating content for TikTok and Instagram, if you are a marketer who needs motion graphics for your ads or for your pitches or for your product demos, or if you are a founder or a small team who needs motion graphics in minutes without the learning curve and at a reasonable cost, MotionVid is the way to go. Okay, so with that being said, let's move on to the final rating here. So this is the Katas rating that I will be giving for MotionVid. So let's say I think I'll be giving it a, considering the quality of the output that it is giving, I think I'll give it a 90 rating. But considering the credits consumption and the number of credits available in the lifetime deal, I'll only give it maybe a 70% here. Okay, so overall, I think you could, with the quality of the output that you're getting, you could go with 90%. So that if you found this video helpful and if you decide to try MotionVid, you can access the deal link through the description, and using the link helps support this channel. Okay, and also don't hesitate to leave your feedback on this video. It helps me in shaping this channel. Also, like this video, share this video with someone you think might be helpful, and also subscribe to this channel for more SaaS and AI tool reviews. With that being said, signing off, Avinash Khatta.